Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Haziq Wakyuddin bin Muhammad Sohardi with the student ID of 23B0909. In this video, me and my partner Muhammad Luqman Hakim bin Mahmud with the student ID of 23B0830 will be presenting our topic on the need of Ijtihad in finance in modern days. Now, let's take a look at the content of this video. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the introduction, and then I will explain to you guys what is Ijtihad about. Later on, I will explain why is Ijtihad important, and my partner will explain the rest. For starters, Islamic laws and rules are known as Sharia, and the study of them is called Islamic jurisprudence. Sharia covers all aspects of Islamic matters, which includes faith, worship, economic, finance, and so on. The rules are derived from the Quran, Sunnah, Ijma, and Qiyas. Further elaboration and interpretation of the rules are provided by the qualified scholars via Ijtihad. Moving on, now I will be explaining on what Ijtihad is about. Ijtihad, the term Ijtihad derived from the Arabic word juhud, which means exertion, endeavor, or the ability in performing certain activity. Ijtihad is the process of deriving Islamic laws by referring mainly to the Quran and Sunnah. Ijtihad is a foundation of Islamic law which enables the application and interpretation of Sharia principles into modern problems. Ijtihad is very important in modern Islamic finance because it is to ensure the proper utilization of Sharia principles and the development of financial instruments that comply with Sharia. Now let's proceed. I will be explaining why Ijtihad is important. Sharia provides scholars of Sharia with variety of Ijtihad instruments. These instruments helps them to structure and endorse product. So now I will be talking about the most significant Ijtihad instruments which are available for Mujtahid. One of which is Sharia texts and their interpretation. Sharia texts refer to the Quran and the Sunnah. In the context of financial transaction, these Sharia texts often provide rules that are either too general or lack details. This is a result of the evolving nature of financial transaction, which may get more complex over time. The general rules that the Sharia texts contain are sufficient for Muslim jurists to deduce Sharia rules for the modern transaction. However, when practicing Ijtihad, Muslim jurists may discover that there are numerous interpretations of the same Sharia text which are relevant to a financial transaction. It is not necessary for contemporary Sharia scholars to limit their fatwas to a single valid interpretation or to the interpretation made by the classic schools of fiqh, as long as the interpretation doesn't go against the established Sharia rules and the Arabic language admits that the interpretation within the context of the text. In addition to that is permissibility being the original ruling in Sharia. Sharia has considered muamalat to be permissible or halal in the absence of a clear text. This means that any form of muamalat is permissible as long as their hukum or rules are not mentioned in any text from the Quran, Sunnah, and other valid sources. However, Muslim needs to discuss about their prohibition in order to establish the hukum. This is actually a crucial tool that the Sharia scholar use to support new Islamic finance and banking products and transactions. Any new structure, products, or transaction will be declared as permissible as long as it is free of aspects that are banned, such as interest, gharar, or maisir.
So thank you, Haziq, for explaining the first half of the topic. Now we move on to the need of Ijtihad. So we need to realize that Ijtihad is a religious duty for qualified scholars and was practiced throughout Islamic history. So throughout the first 5 Islamic centuries, the practice of ijtihad continued both theoretically and practically amongst Muslims. So jurists debated the necessity of ijtihad. So with some advocating for its revival for legal reforms. So in the 10th century, most jurists argued that since all major matters of religious law had been settled, so there was no more need for any new ijtihad. So it means that people should follow the previous legal cases as stated in books of various schools of law. So now we move on to the areas that require ijtihad. So there's actually many areas that require ijtihad. So I will be only covering two of those areas. So first is the distribution of profit loss sharing in partnership, also known as musyarakah. So modern scholars propose musyarakah as an interest-free finance alternative. So specifically the need to reconsider the profit loss sharing, because there are numbers of factors that influence the profit beyond profit and loss beyond capital alone, such as the labor, the market context, laws and regulations, the nature of service and consumers, and the market perceptions. So we move on to the second one, which is the implementing of Islamic law of inheritance. So the Quranic injunctions on inheritance sometimes lead to negative consequences, such as land fragmentations. Therefore, ijtihad is needed to prevent unintended impacts by setting a maximum size for land plots to avoid further fragmentation. So now we move on to the infrastructure for ijtihad. So the qualifications that is required for ijtihad includes the fluency in Arabic and any other languages such as Urdu or Turkish. So there are also other essential knowledge that is needed, such as tafsir, hadith, fiqh, and understanding of contemporary social issues. Also, maturity, historical knowledge, awareness of Western legal and social developments are also crucial. So it shows that there are diverse expertise that is required for effective ijtihad. So teamwork is essential for effective ijtihad in modern times because of the diversity of expertise that is required. So there's actually multiple organizations such as OIC, Fiqh Academy, AAOIFI, and many more that are engaged in limited ijtihad efforts. Therefore, it shows that the need for a broader interdisciplinary collaborations. So that is all from me. I will pass along the spotlight to my friend Hazik.
To conclude this video, ijtihad is practiced to keep pace with the modern day life. It is mandatory for the Islamic jurists to provide the environment with ijtihad in order to prevent people to create false perception against Islamic laws. Ijtihad is needed in finance to address contemporary issues and challenges facing the Muslim world in modern times by reconstructing Islamic economics taught together with scholars from different disciplines that collectively possesses the necessary proficiency for ijtihad so that the Muslim world can ensure that Islamic laws and principles are maintained while adhering the complex challenges of the modern world. That will be the end of this video. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for listening.